So let's do a quick unboxing of Bambu Lab X1 series combo with AMS, hopefully. Well, I got this recently. I was hoping to get it to the workshop, but unfortunately, yeah, I wasn't patient. Let's open it right in my guest room. The printer itself comes in a pretty large box, something like 25 kilos, lots of warning signs and quite, well done packaging. The second you open the box, you see two messages. One is a link to official unboxing instructions, and yes, there are unboxing instructions, and two more stickers that show how to pull out the printer correctly. I must say I'm impressed. That's the first time I'm seeing this quality of packaging, well, in 3D printing. Okay, so at this point you're gonna have two things. One is the printer itself, not sure where the AMS is. And another thing is 3 rolls of filament, which are well hidden on the bottom of the box. 200 grams of PLA, 200 grams of carbon fiber, and 200 grams of support filament. Also, if you take a careful look on the spools, you will see that these are marked in grams. That's the first time I'm seeing something like that too. Well done, Bambu Lab. I presume this is one of the so-called reusable spools that they are advertising and selling on the website. For those who are as ignorant as me, there is a separate sticker saying that, okay, please read this quick start booklet that we included with the printer. I believe this is a hint that I should use. Anyway, let's start by removing the packaging. Okay, so the top lid is not held by anything but the stickers, so I can just take it off and I can see the AMS lying inside the printer. When I remove the packaging, I now have access to the toolbox. Let's see what's inside. So there is a power cable, 3M stickers for something, disclaimer, safety guidelines, a well-packed something, which is a glue stick, plus something which is, I believe, yes, that's a spool holder, some cables, and another box inside the box. The box inside the box contains, I believe, these are spare parts like the nozzle scrubber and so on and so forth. Again, well wrapped piece of what? Oh, that's the extruder and the hot end. Not sure if this will be the main or the spares, with thermal grease, couple tools, and the display. The printer is clearly missing some handles. Anyway, to remove the AMS, you need to remove these two screws and then pull the AMS unit out. Here it goes. Also, there is the biggest bag of silica gel I've ever seen in my life. 4 more screws here, here, here and here to remove the AMS cushioning. What do we have here? We have 2 extra stickers for the bed. And both of them are Bambu cool plates, so no high temp ABS printing yet. And there is the magnetic bed itself. Also, a cool plate. And I would say the magnetic part is pretty much stronger than I expected. 3 more screws, 1, 2, 3 to release the bed. Now we can remove all the extra packaging from the extruder. And as you can see, the extruder is already there, so we were looking for a spare extruder. I really like how this clips on. The final pieces of packaging here and here will be removed only after initializing the printer, so let's connect the screen. And connecting the screen should be pretty straightforward. Pull up the cable, click it into the place, and just slide the screen in place. I need to put the lid before installing the AMS, and basically just put the AMS on top. Bambu Lab really takes your moisture issues seriously, because you have 2 disinfectant bags here, which you should unpack before starting the AMS. So to connect the AMS, you need to push in this PFTA tube and connect 2 cables. 6 pin to the AMS and side of this module, and the short one between the printer itself and this module somewhere from below. Finally, remove this small screw here and install the spool holder. All done. Now let's turn the device on. So the first thing I'm seeing here on the initial startup screen is the language selector, selecting English. I need to connect to Wi-Fi And as I see, unfortunately, this printer doesn't support 5 GHz Wi-Fi, but let me select the 2.4 backup. This actually looks like an Android keyboard or something similar. The screen is not very much responsive, to be honest. Okay, so now it's connected to the Wi-Fi. And now it asks me to connect the printer to my mobile application. Okay, let's bin the device here. And the printer seems to be connected. Okay, next, terms and conditions. Now we read that. Join the reporting program, okay. And calibration. So I must make sure that the screws are removed, the 3 screws that are holding the bed, and press next. Calibration may take several minutes. Okay, should I I don't know, take a sheet of paper like old times? No. Interesting what happens if I open the door. No, nothing happens. I believe this is a resonance testing. Funny thing that the touchscreen has an SD card slot here. Calibration complete. Next. Start printing. Let's remove the foam finally and do the start printing. Start printing what? Okay, so what do we have here? We have a general idea of what's going on with the printer. Firmware update? No, not yet. Lights on off. What's that? Huh. That's your printer face. AMS, which says that all the spools are not loaded. Calibration, which can be started again at any time. Spaghetti detection. First layer inspection. That's the print options. I have an internal storage and I have an SD card storage. Of course, well, there is a 3D bench for that. And also, as you can see, I have a lot of tools which are dedicated to the Bambu Labs and the internal storage. Bed scraper, film applying tool, trace organizers, scrapers, screw gauge, which, well, is not very much needed with Bambu Labs, but anyway, squishy turtle mean I should print it with TPU. Settings. Account, SD card, network, and chat. Oh. This is basically the system message, and I can run a device self-test. If you're curious about what's going on with auto bed leveling, it does 7x7 auto bed mesh level, which is basically insane because I use 7x7 basically on 350 to 350 beds. Okay, self-test completed and we are clear. I suppose let's start the first test. The first test, of course, will be the benchy, but let me see what's going on here. And the bench requires me to load a PLA filament in the first slot of the AMS. It says it will have 24 minutes, so pretty much average speeds. We will have bed leveling and flow calibration. So bed level, which I can toggle on and off, which is a bit complicated if you have fat fingers. And let's do it. So how does one load a filament into the AMS? Let's just put it in here. This is, by the way, the standard Gembered PLA spool. And let's push it here. Oh. As long as the filament is detected, EMS is trying its best to push it through. Okay, should be done. I almost started the print without hotbed installed. Okay, hotbed is at 60. It's currently hitting the nozzle to 200 something, 210. I would say this is not the most quiet printer that I had. Okay, so it preheats the nozzle, it cleans the nozzle tip, then it cools down the nozzle to 140 degrees and starts auto bed leveling, which will be that lengthy 7x7 leveling procedure. Okay, this is extrusion calibration and it basically prints a bunch of lines. So it printed a bunch of lines and then it starts scanning it with its laser and probably calculating something about it. And now we are finally starting the benching. Okay, the accelerations are like to the max. That's all. Inspecting the first layer, so it printed the first layer and then it inspected that and now it's doing something. Okay, and here we go, the black benching. Are we done yet? Oh, it's unloading the filament, nice. Okay, so I think we should not wait for the filament to unload and let's see the benching. Okay, so what can I say about this benchy? First layer, perfect. That's what you get for calibrating your Voron 3 days straight. There is a strange difference between overhang and the hull, probably because there is a temperature difference. Maybe. There is zero stringing, like zero stringing, like none at all. A little bit, tiny bit of ghosting around the windows or the anchor points or whatever it is in benchy. But generally, you know, that's a perfect benchy. That's a benchy that you get after calibrating your standard 3D printer for days. I am impressed. By the way, this is a calibration pattern and this is a priming line that it prints in the beginning of the print. But honestly, you know, I am amazed by this printer. And with P1P coming out, I don't see that there is a reason to buy Prussian. Anyway, that's what I have for you for today. I believe there will be some more videos trying to torture this little guy. And yeah, see you next time.